So we have been logging in to the login page in our exercises, right? So what if I can actually store this login status and do not have to log in at all, log in at all during my test? So Playwright gives this option called storage state, which actually saves a lot of time when it comes to logging in. Let's go ahead and implement that now in this login file. Page of it first. So I need to kind of store the data, right? So I kind of um, import in the file system and gonna modify a little bit here when it comes to the login state by adding a new method state login state. I need so call the file path as string. I'll pass on the file path. Oh, hold on. Okay. So instead of the browser context, we'll use the storage state. And oh, let's see. We'll use the storage state, which will actually write file. And if your login is based on a cookie, then it'll store the cookie. Or if it's a token, it will store the token. Basically, whatever support there is for your account to login. So now that I'm reading things from credentials, and we also have implemented the login method, I can actually just pass on the username and password, which also does the submission. So I can remove these 3 lines. And once I log in, I need to store my state. So I call login page dot save login state, and let's keep this in logged in state JSON file. Yeah. Now in this multi-page scenario, let's test how this login works. Quickly commented out the login code for us to use the storage state. So let's call it the storage state, and then it's an login page.json. And yeah, one other thing that we need to do is we will call the URL directly, which is the transfer URL. Go to. Let me just quickly copy the URL. All right, so yeah, now that it's been copied, I'll try running this test again. Prior to this, I just ran the logged in scenario once to generate the login state again. So let me try it. So there you go. The storage state was completely reused and it's working now. I can just go ahead and delete these lines, which is not required anymore. That's a ton of a help in case of logged in tests, where you can log in once, store it in a JSON, and then reuse it for all other test cases without having to log in again. And if your login expires quite often, then you may have to trigger your automation to run this a couple of times.